7. On average, it is 7. Takes an XX 7 times to leave an IPV situation. Most likely due to fear of retaliation, because leaving is actually the most dangerous time, especially if they have children, because the assailant, the perpetrator, ends up using their privilege, their socioeconomic status, the community against them to keep them trapped. XX is 5 times more likely to lose their life in an IPV situation than XY. Which is why the question, why don't they just leave, is extremely, extremely complex to answer because there are several barriers to it. No, I'm not talking out of my butt for nothing. Hi, my name is Bernie Shaw. I am a licensed clinical social worker. Maybe not the greatest, but I am one regardless. And I am also 40-hour DV trained. Tell me you're Daisy without telling me you're Daisy. Excuse me. Yeah, so I'm not talking out of my butt for nothing. I do know a little bit about what I'm talking about. So with that being said, I was reading about the economic crisis, budget cuts online with DV and SB programs and the VAVA law. And, please correct me if I'm wrong. Because overstimulation, it can just be way too much information to read online and keep up with. Cutting funding or limiting the funding for these programs is not a decision that I think is the greatest or the smartest, primarily because the XX and their children are being re-victimized. You're putting them in a situation where they're going to be turned away from services that they desperately need. In addition to that, you are limiting these children's chances of safety, stability, and security from an unhealthy, unsafe home, where they could utilize the counseling services, the transitional homes, the shelters. Yeah. You guys get what I'm trying to say. I'm having a hard time formulating my words, but you know what I'm trying to say. Please correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, okay? Yeah. That's all I have to say for this. Bye. I'll probably end up making a part 2 or something.